When you cover war, it's hard to quit cigarettes. It doesn't really make sense when you get bombed, you know. I think photojournalists are very passionate about what they do. You know, if you look at our colleagues that died in Libya, Tim and Chris, and two others that were wounded, besides Chris Andros being a staff for Getty, nobody was on assignment. They were there to report. I mean, that shows how people are passionate about what they do and how ready they are to tell the story. It is not Britney Spears, it's not Lady Gaga, it is the world where we live, and it is extremely important. And we're not getting rich by what we do, but yeah, we're getting rich in our minds, in our brain. And, you know, we get to see things and understand things on a very different level, and that's why we're doing so. Kind of drawn into the storytelling process, and you learn as you go on the ground. The motivation to be a photojournalist is also when part of your family can't come to your place because they've got the wrong kind of passports, and you know you can travel the whole world. You somehow have a duty to do something, you know.
I traveled to Kashmir in 2009 with the idea of doing a story on both sides of the conflict. It's really a tough situation down there because there is a sense of impunity on the Indian side and powerless feelings on the other one with the youth and the young Kashmiri people. And I think my intention there was really to try to photograph portrait on both sides and make them interact through numbers of questions that I would ask them and see, okay, this is the Indian forces and this is the Kashmiri youth, and how is this going to happen if they don't talk? What's going to happen if those guys are not even looking at each other? A photograph is just one photograph. It might say a lot. It might, it might move you in terms of a composition, what it says, but it's also an open book. It is not like I write black and white. It is not that clear. A photograph is more open to where you come from and how you read it. Me, as a photographer, I was trying really to frame that properly and to make it, strong and emotional with all the information that I could gather and the sense of what I thought was right. And I believe I'm getting close there, but you never really get there. And that's what makes our work also fascinating. Is you're always trying to reach something that you can't ultimately. But you try to do it. You try to convey a message and put it out in the public and hoping that would eventually inform the public on the way you're hoping. But you don't have control on that at all. And what is more important is you move. You move with your life. You move with your emotions. You move with it's an evolution. You're just like the same, and that's what is good. I want to be the same in 2 years. No one be the same in 5 years, and I'm very different than I was 5 years ago. My way of thinking, my way of moving. Eventually my way of photographing too. What I found very interesting is when you drop your cameras and you start moving around with this, in a protest, in the Arab world, you become like anyone else because everyone is shooting with a phone. So if you know what you do as a storyteller and you've got a tool that works, then it's fantastic because you are invisible. And that was the first time ever in my life that I ended up being invisible shooting photos. And that photograph especially was done for Le Monde with the iPhone. It really reminds me of this Greek sculpture, no arm, and just a bare chest, and writing on this, I'm the next martyr. So for me, it is really the symbol of those revolutions. This youth that has no hope, that has no tomorrow, and then today see a little bit of light and said, okay, we've got a little window there, let's go. Even if we die, anyway, we're dead already. We have no excuse. I mean, when you're a storyteller, today you have absolutely no excuse of not telling your story and not, bringing the story to the public. We have that chance to do that today. And I think some people are scared, some people complain that the old world is different, I don't have this, I can't do that, there's not much money to do this and this and this. Yeah, well, fine, that's right. The world is changing, change with it.